Hello! What's up, guys? Okay, welcome to the first ever PZ podcast. Today, we are going to talk about some very exciting things that are going to be happening in auto chess. Some present things, some past things, and some new things. And who's better to talk about it with me today than Mr. Ice Cream himself? So get some hype in the chat and put your hands together for a round of applause for Mr. Ice Cream.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm really happy to be here.
Welcome,
to
welcome.
discuss a little bit about, to talk a little about what is going on in AUTOCHESS and what the future has and what has been happening all over.
Cool. All right. So before we start here, Ice Cream, you want to tell everyone about yourself? I know people on Twitch here, they know who you are. You know, you've been competing with them, but I want you to kind of talk about yourself, maybe introduce yourself to my YouTube audience, because they don't really know who you are yet. Maybe turn up the volume. Oh shit.
I've been playing AUTOCHESS since it came out in Dota AUTOCHESS. So I played in Dota AUTOCHESS for a while, on pretty high level, and then when it came out on mobile, I swap over there. I've been playing all the seasons. I've been high queen in all seasons. I think I ended top 50 in every season on the leaderboard.
Wait, did you get queen this season yet?
Yeah, I hit queen like 3 days ago.
Oh wow, wow, you hella passed me, dude. Oh, well done. Damn, Ice Cream OP. Nice.
Yeah.
How many days would you say you play? How many days and how many hours every day would you say you play?
I have 150 games this season, and I don't know how long this season have been, but
so good amount, right?
Good amount, yeah, good amount.
Okay, so the topics, you know why you're here today. We have a couple topics. For 4 things I want to get through today. Current state of the game, right? Current state of the meta. What you think about the update, the update overall that we just had with Ghost Kid, and maybe some with the new update that might be coming out soon, maybe when the season ends, and projects you're working on like Nations Cup. And so starting out here, first impression, what do you think of the current state of the game right now? I'm not talking about the meta, so I'm talking about the game. In terms of, is it fun for you?
In May there was a lot of issues just after they released the PC client, but since like 1st of June or something, then I think the game has been really good. It's working, you can play it, and the meta is pretty fun. I think yeah, we're waiting with the meta, but overall I really like to play the game, and there could be some balance changes, but overall it's in a really good spot at the moment.
Okay. How do you feel in terms of for the competitive players versus the casual players in the current game right? Do you feel like maybe the casual players the numbers for the casual players are kind of dropping off? Are they increasing? And then for the competitive players, do you feel like they're increasing or decreasing?
I think it's on a pretty similar level as it's been for a while, about the player base. I don't know so much about the casual numbers. But what we see currently on Twitch, there has been like the same amount of viewers for a few months now.
Well, I mean, I can tell you, I feel like most of the channels, I feel like they are kind of decreasing a little bit. Even my own, I see my numbers going down on YouTube, see my numbers going down on Twitch, and I see other numbers on other channels going down too. So, I mean, it kind of gives me. I know that's not the only metric, especially with a game that's specialized specifically more. With the Asian region and everything, not NA where where Twitch is most of the time, but
yeah, maybe I think it has been decreasing a little bit in NA maybe.
Yeah.
Many of the famous player from NA has been not playing that much anymore.
Yeah, NA is definitely dropping a little bit.
You don't see them a lot on Twitch.
Yeah.
Least. And I'm usually hanging out around in everyone's Twitch chats, so.
That's cool. I mean, but hey, honestly, if it's still fun for you, keep on going, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What do you think about the meta right now? Because I mean, I imagine the meta is. It's definitely one of the reasons why I slowed down a little bit in terms of playing the game, right? I just wonder if it's. You said that you enjoy it. You said it's been getting better. What are your thoughts on that?
I think the meta is if they just there's one build, the Kira Goblins, that is a little bit overtuned at the moment. Otherwise, I think the meta is really good. If they can just maybe I don't know if it's the Kira that is the problem, which many things, but I think it's the mech, the free mech bonus early. If you get that just high roll, you get so much value from the free mech bonus early.
Right,
And
it's
then
kind of snowballing, right?
6 goblins beating everything late game. So you have a good early game, you have a good late game. You're not compromising anywhere. So previously there was a nerf to goblins from 15 armor to 12 armor.
Right.
And then goblins wasn't that good anymore. And then they reverted it to 15 armor. So maybe if they just revert it to 12 armor again, it could be. I think the meta would be really good.
So that's the only thing you think. That's the only thing you would
Maybe
change
that would be enough.
to
Maybe
fix
that
it.
would be enough.
So you think if we just change Kira, that would come back to a very healthy meta? It will come back to season 4 again.
Yeah, I think there's a possibility if they change to 6 goblin and maybe the mech free. Mech free is really good.
Okay. Is that
So
what
much
you've been?
value.
Is that what you've been? What have you been using in your games? Mostly.
Normally, I always try to go for free mech starts. Free mech starts and then winning a few rounds, and then just using the hearts directly. Then you can try to win streak or stay healthy. And then if you roll some goblins, you go into 6 goblins, or if you roll mages, you go into mages. You can go into assassins. There's a lot of things you can do from the free mech starts.
Oh yeah, 3 max start. Yeah. Okay. Even if it's contested.
I really often try to go for free mech starts.
Even if it's contested. So like so let's say you pull like pairs. You pull 1 star, not pairs. Just find 3 gods. Would you drop it, or would you continue to try to find them until you get them to 2 stars?
Well, there's always some point where you stop going for the mechs. If you like lose streak, or if you never win, then the mech is no point. So, of course, you need to drop the mech sometime. But I want to keep them as long as I can.
Keep them as long as okay. I mean, it seems like it's a pretty good strategy. You guys seem to be doing pretty well. I was gonna ask you about the projects you're working on right now. So, you want to tell the chat maybe a little bit about that?
What do you think about the meta?
What do I think about the meta?
Good to have some discussion both ways.
So the meta right now, it's frustrating. I don't like the fact that I could kind of predict what's gonna happen, even like round 10, right? I see myself streaking, and I know I'm gonna eventually lose to this, and it kind of like, and honestly, there's when you're playing against Kira, or when you're playing against builds that you can't cannot beat Kira, and you're just like banking on 1 unit or a synergy that you might not even be able to get because you have to push. Okay, first of all, let's say for example I'm playing Hunter, right?
Yeah.
I'm playing Hunter, and there's 2 ways you can go about it. Try to counter the Kira. You could go for the force, like spirits, or you can go for big legendaries to beat it. But you can't do that without rolling down really hard. So when you roll down really hard to try to hold yourself and try to punish them, knock them out, you're now in like a weird spot again. So when I feel like I'm playing Hunters and I see Kiras, most of the time I just kind of accept defeat on it most of the time. And I don't know if is that healthy for the game, or is that not healthy for the game? What do you think? Or do you feel like
exactly
like
same.
Kira is always supposed to beat Hunters, just like how, I don't know, thinking about season 4, I can't think of like a build, because in season 4 everything was able to beat everything. There was never a build that was like, oh man, I can't beat that. Like from knowing from round 10 I couldn't beat that, it just didn't make sense to me, man. So
I felt exactly the same regarding these goblins, and goblins has always been really good against everything that is physical damage. But there has always been a chance to beat them early, and it's really hard. It was in season 4. It was really hard to get the six goblins going.
Why? I mean, why is it so easy
now? It's so much easier.
Remember, it was so hard. It was even called gamble to get it, but it's so easy to get now.
Now you don't really need 3 stars of it.
Oh,
And
that's
you
true.
get the extra free rolls from the mech.
That's true. That's a good point.
Which
Yeah, you
makes
don't
it
need
so
3
much
stars. Yeah.
easier to get it than previously.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. That I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
And then the 6 goblin bonus is too strong.
Yeah.
And that's why I mentioned earlier that maybe the issue is that you get too much armor from the mech, or from the goblin bonus. And
So maybe somewhere in between, right? 12 and... Okay, also I wanted to ask you about spirits. What do you think about spirits?
I don't like spirits overall. There is some, like, you need to high roll a specific legendary to beat some builds.
Well, I'm not talking about like using the build, but I'm talking about how the concept of like 4 spirits being one of like the main counters to gobs. And it might not even be a main counter to gob now that they can just go 6 mechs into, what is it, legendaries now, so it might not even be a full counter to gobs anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. But there has to be some kind of counter builds, like spirits for melee comps, marine against mages. I think it has to be like that. But I wish there were some other way you can handle goblins than to go for spirits.
Like an item shop, right? Like maybe an item shop early game, so we can so we can kind of punish when we want to.
Or if they fix the wall dragon, that might also help.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Wall dragon. That's right. Yeah. Group everything up. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. So okay. Yeah. Moving on to the projects you're working on right now, which is Nations Cup is definitely one of them. How are you guys doing in that?
I think Nations Cup is a big success from where we started. I don't know if everybody knows about it, but it's a tournament that was created from the community. There's some people who really wanted to have this tournament, and then they asked around people in different countries, and then people started to create teams for their countries, and then we created a tournament between all the different countries, and it's ongoing now. We're going into the final stages of the tournament.
I got some pictures here from the bracket.
There's a lot of and there's a lot of people who put a lot of effort into it, not getting any money from it, just doing it because they really love the game. They want to grow the community, and I really love that.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's one of the best things that's happened in the AUTOCHESS community right now. A lot of people working unpaid, first of all, right? Shout out to all the volunteers, right? All the casters, all the admins, even the graphic artists. Like they put in work, and I see it, and it is growing. It is growing. I got a picture right here of the bracket. You guys can already see how many different countries are in this tournament right now. If you guys don't know what it is, definitely check it out. They have a Discord. I'll probably leave
this is the
link below.
Bracket now.
Is this a old picture, or is this the most current one? Ice cream.
Yeah, the current one.
The current one.
Start with the upper bracket.
Okay, so upper bracket right here, we have Taiwan, Japan, Singapore, Vietnam, and then lower bracket we have a bunch of teams that are still in the running to try to come back up there.
No, you don't show. No, show the lower bracket.
Yeah, the lower bracket. You guys are.
You have delay.
Lower bracket. You guys are. Wait, where are you guys? Sweden. You guys are gonna be playing Korea next. How do you feel about that?
We actually played Korea today.
Oh, you did? How'd you do?
Yeah, it was a really close game. We managed to win it somehow with 2-1. I don't know if everybody knows the setup, but there's in each game there are 4 players per team playing, and then you need to support each other, so every player in the team gets as high position as possible. So it's kind of different from a normal game. And then you play 3 games, and then after 3 games you decide the winner.
Yeah, it's definitely more team oriented, right? Than just your,
yes, for sure.
Your rank game or your tournament games.
You need to go builds that your team doesn't go when you want to counter the other team. So it's a lot of strategy in it, and it's really fun to play.
So you actually enjoy playing in the Nations Cup more than GLL or ESL? for example? Or do you prefer to play? Are you more of a team player or more of a solo player?
Kinda like both.
You like both? If you had to choose one, if you can only
If I had to
compete in
choose
one,
one.
they were at the same time. They had the same prize pool. Well, what would you pick?
Then I would probably play
Huh?
the team one.
You probably pick the team one?
It's always fun to win with a team.
Yeah, that's true.
So
But you
celebrate
gotta
together.
split the prize pool, but you know.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
Thank you. So,
Yeah.
couple things I also want to talk about before we take off here. Is the future of auto chess. Do you have big hopes for the game, overall, for the competitive scene? It sounds like you're pretty optimistic about it.
Yeah, I've loved this game. I've loved this
Mhm.
game since it came out, and I
Right.
really want it to grow. I really want it. I think it's such a good game, so it has potential to grow. I don't know. Maybe they need. Haven't seen it. They market it so much outside of Asia or
Mhm.
in Europe. I come from Sweden, and I haven't seen anything in Sweden.
Do you
about
think
this
the
game.
RNG part of it is gonna stop it from getting it to, you know, like a premier esport?
I think it could be a premier esport, like Hearthstone is a esport. I think it's more
You're going to love
RNG in
this.
Hearthstone than in
Trust me.
AutoChess.
Mhm.
But
You think it's gonna get bigger to
and Hearthstone is a really big esport, so
right?
I think it has potential. But
Mhm.
we need to gather more. I think like the Nations Cup we need these kind of things to grow the community and
Right. Well, that I do agree with. Community is the only thing that's gonna help this grow from the bottom. If there's no community, you know, other people aren't gonna get involved. You know, people play games just to be part of a community. They don't really play. People don't play games all the time just to try to, you know, compete. Right. So I think community is definitely the number one thing that's gonna incentivize people to play this game. So
what are your opinion on the future
for me,
of the game?
I agree with you in terms of I think it's a really fun game. It does have its, you know, pros and cons. Like currently right now, I'm not too crazy about the game. Like I don't feel the same passion as I feel let's say 3 months ago. 3 months ago, oh man, I would be diving on this bed every game. Right. Now it's kind of like I said, it's too predictable right now. But there is a little bit of hope in me, hoping that you know, if they continue to do tournaments, if players continue to play, it can become an esport. Right now, I personally don't think it will become a premier esport. I don't think it will get too far, but it could. It could always, you know, it will never die, right? I've seen many games live for decades and never die, right? So it doesn't have to become a premier esport for it to become a successful game. So there is that side of it.
Yeah, that's
But other
also
than that,
true. It can be a good game. It can be a funny game, but it doesn't have to be the biggest game.
yeah, exactly.
But we can still have the really great community that we're
Yeah.
having.
Like I will continue to play even though, you know, I'm telling you like I'm kind of bored of the game a little bit or frustrated at the game, but I love making content. I love being in the community. I love talking to people. So I don't think I'll ever stop making content for it if anything. So still gonna definitely stick around.
One other thing I wanted to mention, like in January this year, Eagles' Hunter were the best composition, and if you got a Devastator, then you just won.
Wait, say that one more time?
That's pretty similar to what the Goblins right now. And then Drodo nerfed Eagles' Hunter and nerfed Devastator. And then the meta became really good. And I think I still believe that Drodo is good at balancing.
Mm-hmm.
That they're looking on everything and they're balancing. So after every big patch, there's always bad balance. And then they look at what is wrong and then they do a good decision on balancing.
Well, here let me ask you this.
There's still possibility for them to do this now.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so this is one thing I was talking about. Even though they can balance it, the one thing that they're really good at is just continue pushing units, right? right here I have a picture of two units that might be coming to the game very soon. Um, I think it's from the DAC. It looks like it's Weaver and Nyx, right? If I
Broodmother and Nyx.
Oh, it's Broodmother. Oh, Broodmother
Yeah.
and Nyx. Okay, they're both insectoids.
Yeah.
So this is one of the things. Even if they continue to balance the game, every time they add a new unit, they have to rebalance the game again, and it's so hard to do it all the time. And I think they
Yeah,
might need to slow it down a little bit in terms of like just continuing to rebalance, releasing content. There has to be. There's a thing about a pro and con between how long a meta is, right? So I think the reason why season 4 was so successful was because it was actually a long meta. Do you know how long the season was? Remember? Everyone was like, yo, when is the season gonna end? Why is it so long? But they didn't realize they were in the best meta of their lives. But now, because new things are releasing all the time, balancings are happening all the time, there's not enough time for the meta to really get healthy. So it's constantly in a pace of bad metas and bad balances. Right?
Season 4 meta was so good.
Yeah.
It was like every build could win. Every build you could go any build and it worked, and you knew that you have a chance to win.
Yeah.
And that's where I feel like if they just nerf the Goblin, because Goblin is the only build that builds some builds cannot beat Goblins.
No way.
So
we'll see. I mean, we'll see
somehow. And I don't know if they need to do patches every season. I don't think it was that the season was so long. I think that it was that they didn't release much new content for a while. And then they did the small balance changes until it was super good. And that's what I hope they're doing now. But when I see new units coming, I'm pretty excited for new units.
Yeah.
But I also want the meta to.
Yeah. There you
really
go.
Good.
And I think as a competitive player, you feel like you want more of you prioritize more balancing, right? More better balancing. And then if you think from a casual perspective, they want content. They want new units, they want new items, they just want new things because it's fun for them. And there's nothing wrong with that, but there's definitely a fight between, competitive and then the casual side, right? And I mean that's definitely part of every game. I played a lot of games and this has always been the problem, man. And it's so hard to fix. Because at the end of the day, Johto is still business, right? How are they gonna make money? They don't make money from balancing. They make money from producing content.
But the content they get money on is skins, and they can make more, right? And they can make more skins and more chessboards. They don't need to release so many new units. They can stay a little bit longer and just make sure that the meta is good. Have it like that for 1 or 2 months, and then they do a new patch.
Yeah, it's rough. It's hard. I mean, it's hard to tell unless you're on the other side, right? You don't really know what's happening on the other side, but just something to think about. But
sure.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be it for me today. I mean, I don't have any other questions for you. Do you have anything to say to the chat or the audience before we call it a day today?
I think it has been a really good discussion, and as always, the community in AUTOCHESS is amazing. We have a lot of people in chat here speaking a little bit. I haven't read so much, but the community is so nice. And thank you all for playing the game and keeping up the community. And hopefully, they will balance the game a little bit more, and then the game will be perfect again. And hopefully, we'll have some more tournaments in the future.
All right, cool. Thank you so much. If you guys want to join me in the podcast or join me in the discussion for the next podcast, make sure you guys join the Discord. I always take suggestions in terms of topics in the Discord channel, and I always want to take suggestions for someone new that you guys want to bring on to the channel here that I can speak to. It doesn't have to be a top player. It can be just a casual player from the community. This is something created so that I can just talk to someone, get their thoughts on the game, for everyone to kind of hear. And yeah, if you guys enjoy the content, as always, drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much.